Hey everybody, Charles Terry here from HauntersDigest. We're going to get ready for the zombie apocalypse by making these from this. Stay tuned. So to get started with this project, we're going to need some items. First things you're going to need is some foam that you can get over at Home Depot, Lowe's, any kind of home improvement store. Next thing you're going to need is something to cut the foam with. I recommend the industrial hot knife kit from Hotwire Foam Factory. This thing's been incredible. This one's the 4-inch blade model. Simply pull the trigger. It causes an electrical current to go through the blade, heating it, allowing you to cut the foam like it's butter. Next thing you're going to need is also a black marker, so you can make marks on the foam so you know where to cut. And a couple of paint brushes. This one's a 2-inch paintbrush that I picked up at Lowe's. You're also going to need a small chip brush when we start doing the dry brushing. They're like 99 cents, very easy to dispose of. So recommend getting a couple of those. Also going to need some latex paint. You're going to need two kinds. One's a dark color, that's going to be the base paint, and then we're going to need like a light brown, that's going to be the highlight and cause the wood grain. So be sure to get two of those. And then you're also going to want to get some black matte spray paint, not gloss but matte, to kind of help with shadowing and detailing. If you do happen to get the industrial hot knife, I want to kind of show you how it works and how it assembles. You simply take the blade and insert it into these two little slots. It comes with a key that allows you to loosen up the screws on top of it. You simply turn it in a clockwise motion, take your blade, insert it into the slots, and then take your key here and fasten it down. And then give it a good pull to make sure you're secure and ready to go. Now what you're going to do is lay your foam board on top of a large open workspace, and then measure out 5 inches, 6 inches wide for each one of the boards using your black marker. I've already got one made here, so I'm going to use that as a template. And what you do is just simply lay it on top of the foam, mark it down, move it over one, and keep going until basically the entire foam board has a 5 or 6 boards on it, or as many as you can get on your individual board. And then here you're going to go ahead and start carving now with the Hotwire Foam Factory hot knife, the industrial knife. Simply just pull the trigger on it, let the blade heat up, and on top of the gun there you can see there's a little dial that will allow you to adjust the the amount of electricity that's going to the gun, which is what allows the blade to heat up. Increasing it obviously makes it hotter, decreasing it makes it cooler. So be sure to, you just test it out, find that sweet spot that doesn't melt the foam, but also allows you to cut it easily without putting a lot of force behind it. But simply, pull the trigger, allow the element to go, and follow your lines that you've put into the foam. You want to do something a little bit irregular. It looks better to the eye. Try avoiding straight lines, especially since this is supposed to look like old reclaimed wood. Anything straight just would not work. And on a health note too, be sure that anytime you are cutting foam that you are in a well-ventilated area. I'm actually in my garage here. I've got the door open and you can't see it, but I've got 3 box fans spread throughout the garage to help circulate the air. And I'm doing my best not to inhale the smoke. But just anytime you cut foam, be sure to always be well-ventilated. We don't want anybody getting sick from inhaling God knows whatever's in that smoke. Here's also another great tool that we got from Hotwire Foam Factory. This is their compound bow. This thing is freaking awesome. I'm going to use it on the small foam here just so you can see how it works, but you'd pretty much want to use this thing on any kind of large blocks of foam. Anything that you need to do large scale carving off of would be good to use this tool on. I've seen people carve dinosaurs using this thing. It really is a great tool. Allows a lot of freedom. Again, just like the hot wire knife, if you kind of seesaw the motion slowly, not going too fast, you might snap the wire. But that allows you to cut very quickly and easily through the foam. This tool is just freaking awesome and highly recommend it. So you can see I've gone ahead and got all the pieces cut out of the main board now, but I still have these straight edges across the top from the initial factory cut of the foam board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to cut those the same way that I cut down the sides, give them that irregular pattern. But what I'm doing here is I'm actually cutting into the ends to kind of give it that split wood look, like maybe you grab this off of a old bridge, an old barn. Maybe you got a pirate ship sitting out somewhere and you were lucky enough to find that. But, you know, look around on the internet, try to get some wood reference and get creative with it. Just don't make it straight edged and boring. You know, really add your own style to the wood and make it your own. Now, here's a little trick and a tip. I'm going to be cutting like 20 of these boards because they were going over 2 different windows on our trade show booth. So I'm going to have a lot of foam boards, and doing each individual one at a time is really time consuming. So what I would recommend is getting 2 or 3 boards. You don't want to, you know, grab the whole deck and cut them all at once, because then every single one would have the same cut. But grab 2, 3, I got 2, now I got 3, and then just simply stack them together and take your knife and cut down the length of it. It's a little bit of a time saver, but you know, it allows you to get through them quickly. And remember, don't do all of them at the same time, otherwise they're all going to have the same cut. And when you look at the boards, you're going to quickly see that. So now that the foam has been cut out into a wood plank shape, again, what I'm wanting to do now is cut into the foam to make it look like the wood is split down the ends. Maybe some of the pieces has just come off over time. Again, it's all about making it look worn in, cut in. Just don't leave it these, you know, straight edged or irregular edged things. You know, really make them your own and be creative with them. So what we're going to do now is kind of make this look a little bit more three-dimensional and not just a flat foam face on the board. We're going to cut grooves into the wood to kind of give them that wood grain effect. Simply take your hot knife onto its side. Turn the temperature down just a little bit, I found. But just take the knife and go cut into the wood, or into the foam, I mean. To kind of give it that wood grain look. And the secret to this is going to be curves. Don't just take the knife and go straight. Add some wiggles and lines into it. Make it, you know, not so uniform look. Here, what I'm doing is taking the hot knife and I'm making a notch into the wood, or into the foam. Excuse me. I keep thinking this is already wood. Into the foam to kind of give it that gnarled wood look. What you're going to do is just take the knife and kind of sculpt in a little notch there, melting the foam, and make it look as gnarled up as possible to kind of give it that old wood look. Now that you've used the hot knife to make the initial deep gouges into the front face, what you're going to want to do now is take a screwdriver, like a Phillips head or just a flat head on its side here, and just go down the length of it and, you know, really go crazy with it. Just take the knife or the screwdriver and run as many curves into the front of it as possible. And this helps break up the flat face of the foam, and it does give it more of that realistic look. By the time you get done dry brushing onto the wood grain and everything, it's these gouges that really help sell it with that three-dimensional look. Now you can see here, I've gone ahead and made all the grooves into the wood. You can see the different textures that it creates, the notch. What we're basically going to do now is take a paintbrush with our dark base coat color here, and go ahead and really work it into all the grooves and all the places on the foam that you've carved out. You want to make sure to get the paint into every single groove and cut that you've made. Otherwise, you're going to, when it dries, you're really going to all of a sudden see green when it should be the dark gray or brown. And here you can see in fast motion here, we are taking the paint and just simply covering every inch of the front here. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and cover the front, let it dry, and then you can paint the sides, or paint the sides as you go. Just make sure that you get the entire front of each one of these foam boards completely covered. Then once everything's dry and you've got all the sides and everything painted, you're going to take your chip brush here with the highlight or the light brown paint and get a little bit onto the brush, and then just lightly go over the top of the foam board with the chip brush. And as you can see, it kind of creates that light wood grain look. You just simply want to start a little bit at a time and continue to go over it and just add layer upon layer of the brown, making as much of the wood grain look as possible, working from one side to the other side. Now that you've got the front of your foam board here painted with that wood grain look, we're going to go ahead and do the sides of the board. Again, just simply turn it onto its side, take your chip brush, and get a little bit of paint and just dab down the side of it. Really, just lightly brush over the top of it. A little goes a long way. You would be surprised. But simply, do the edges. You can see here I'm doing the front edge. And you see how it kind of makes that wood look. You got your deep colors and then you got your light ones. Again, same thing. Just take my chip brush and I'm doing long strokes with the initial layer here to kind of give it that initial grain look. And the secret to this really is just do one layer and then go back, do a little bit more, do a little bit more, and just eye it till you are happy with the look. What you're going to do is the initial first browns here, you're going to go ahead and do that, get it layered on there and get it nice and looking where you're happy with it. And then after you've got this brown layer, you're going to go ahead and take another chip brush and you're going to go back over it with the dark color. Again, I'm just going to turn it onto its side here and put down the brown layer. And as I said, you just, it's all about layers. Now that we've got the brown one laid on for the wood grain look, we're going to take the dark color now onto a chip brush and go back lightly over the brown to kind of help blend it in to the wood. If you just left it as the initial highlights across the top of the board, it would look fake. Adding a little bit of the brown on top, or the darker color on top, kind of helps blend it. And you can see I pointed out here, I got one little spot I didn't like. It was kind of too concentrated of a brown highlight, so I've kind of gone ahead and started to blend this back out with the darker base color, highlighting over the top. And it just helps blend everything. It makes it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit more weathered in. It re-adds some shadow back into the board and really helps sell the authenticity of the look you're going for. And if you want, take a little bit more of the brown and go back over the top of it. Again, it's all about layers. And I typically would do this maybe 2 or 3 times. The more layering that you do on it, the more you're really going to convince that this is, a wood board. So here is our completed wood board. Now that we've got it done, we're going to go ahead and take the spray paint. And this is kind of the little secret that I've learned. It's if you use the black spray paint and just lightly dust it over the top of the board, it adds a little bit of shadowing effect. I mean, if you think about wood that's been out in the weather for a while, it's been rained on time after time again, and you are going to have these little dirt spots across the face of the wood. So just take it across the front, take it on the sides here. You can see I'm dusting the sides. It just adds shadows to the eyes for it to see. So here you can see this is just the basic black wood that's just got the base coat. It's not got really any treatment on top of it other than the initial coat. On the next one here, you can see we've done the initial highlights with the brown and just that one light coat over the top of it. This one here, I've gone ahead and gone with a couple of layers of both the brown highlighting and another dry brushing of a darker coat onto it to help blend everything. And you can see it kind of help mute things down and really do it. And then here on the last one, I've gone ahead and added with the or the spray can of black matte paint, and it's kind of helped dust it and make it look a little bit darker. And now we're ready to hang the boards onto the window. Get a clamp, which are excellent if you don't have a second pair of hands. Mount it to where you want, and then take a screw. I got a 1/4 inch long screw here. Push it into the foam and slowly using your drill it into the wood frame. Just be sure to take your time and you won't end up ripping the foam or doing any damage that would require you to do paint retouch up work with the foam board. Just take your time and get the boards where you want them and enjoy. So you can see here we've got the boards up in place. They're pretty well solid. I mean, it's just 2 screws in there, and that was it. We also, or I also went on the other side and boarded up the other side of the wall, so zombies can't just bust through this one side. That'd be stupid. So be sure to if you do the window, do both sides. And I think it looks great. It looks like reclaimed wood. That's all the designer rage right now. So I'm hip and stylish, and it's pretty convincing looking. The screws, when you're screwing it in, if the paint pulls back a little bit and you do see some of the foam inside, that's where hard coating is going to really help you out, because when you screw it in, you're not going to have that issue, and it adds to the durability of it. But this, to us is a trade show booth and a set, so I'm not too worried about that. So again, that's why I didn't hard coat it. But if you do see some of the foam and the imperfection, just simply take a little bit of paint and touch it up. That's all you got to do, and it'll cover the screw and it'll cover the foam, so nobody will be any of the wiser. But I think it looks great. If you want to come by and check it out, come to our booth at Trans World in St. Louis next year, or at Midwest Haunters Convention in 2015, and check it out for yourself. I think we're going to have to fight the impulse, because when people come looking through the little holes here, we're going to feel like we're being attacked by zombies. So I think it adds to the fun. So be sure to come by the booth and check it out. I'm Charles Terry. This has been a tutorial on HauntersDigest.com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you out there.